forward, the biggest game, as it always is, circled on the calendar, Montana State. Just talk about your team heading into this week, taking the lessons of last week, applying them to get the win this weekend.
Yeah, last week was a huge disappointment, but you got to move on. And this is a huge week, and it's tough to lose a ball game, but when you hand it to somebody, that makes it a little bit tougher, because you can look at half a dozen things that were not forced by the other team, and if they don't happen, you win the ball game. And if you just go play normal football, not even great football, just normal football, it's not even a football game. So, that was very disappointing. We got down early, which put a little pressure on some of the young guys to make some plays, and none of these guys want to fail, and they did. They're licking our wounds a little bit, and we're gonna shake it off and get ready for a big week. And this is the biggest week of the season, and it's important to all our players, but especially our Montana players. It's so important to all of our fans, and we have a responsibility to go out and play great football this week.
Open up for questions.
Coach, this is your second year in this rivalry. Does last year approach? Does that affect how you approach this year at all? Just having a year in it.
You don't really know what to expect in your first year, but after you live in the state for a couple of years, you understand a little bit more how important it is and what it means to the people. So you feel a lot more pressure, to get it done, and because you just want to make your fans happy. You just want to make the people that support you happy and satisfied with the job you're doing.
Coach, what was your assessment of Chad's play?
He'd like to have some back, but he actually gave us a chance to win, and it wasn't always perfect early, but he did some things with his legs and made some plays, and it gave us a chance. We just wanted a chance to win it in the fourth quarter, and somehow we scraped back in it. It didn't work out our way, but he gave us a chance to win the ball game.
Coach, how about that going forward this week? What do you expect for your starting quarterback this week?
We got to see if Brady's ready to go. You'd like to have Brady back in the saddle and a Montana kid, and we'll see how he's feeling, and definitely want to have him back ready to go. And he wasn't 100% last week, and that's why we gave Chad the reps and went with Chad. And he had a hot hand, and we felt like he, with the way that they played, maybe having the ability to scramble and use his legs would help us, and it did.
Caleb, you guys have played a lot of pocket passing quarterbacks in the last few weeks. Montana State has been starting recently as more of a scrambler. How does that change your approach as a defensive line?
First of all, I don't think it changes our approach at all. We've been facing mobile quarterbacks all season, so it's just something we've gotten used to this year. We just got to go out there and play our game.
Caleb, how much last game meant, as far as play application and everything? Is it hard to kind of get re-energized, even though it is overall a while this week, or is it pretty easy to kind of get back into it?
Yesterday was pretty hard, but today's Monday. It's a new week. It's Cat Week. Pretty excited. Really ready for this Saturday, I think.
What are your memories of this rivalry growing up and stuff?
They're pretty good. The Grizz always won, so. Just growing up in Helena, I think Helena's pretty divided with Cat and Grizz fans, so it was always fun to watch those games. I remember we were always going to my dad's buddy's house. We'd always watch, and there'd be Grizz fans and Cat fans there, and so just good memories, and hoping to make some more good memories Saturday.
Caleb, are the players trying to put all the playoff conversations out of their head, just kind of focus on this week?
Yeah, I think so. We've kind of been living this whole season, one game at a time. Take it, one day at a time, one game at a time. So I think that's how we're taking our view for this week.
Caleb, when you look around, you see all the potential that you have on your team. There's a lot of talent there, and you see maybe where you're staying, not exactly where you wanted. What is your assessment of what this team is right now?
Coach, is there one thing that you can pinpoint that has maybe held this team back from going out and displaying that potential every week?
Well, you're not always making plays, and you're looking at a team that's starting 5 or 6 freshmen. And I was talking to Sel about that. When he played, how many freshmen does he remember playing? He remembers Trumaine playing. That's what comes to mind. And he made the statement that it was really rare for a freshman to be in the 2 deep back then. We've got 2 kickers, a punter, 3 wideouts, a left guard, a D tackle, a linebacker, and that's where our program is right now. That's where it's at, and it's the fallout of what's went down, but it's just where we're at. We knew that, and we're bringing these kids along. They're very, very good football players, and we're bringing them along. And at some point, you're never going to have to deal with that again. But you have to nurture these guys and keep them positive, because they are good players. And unfortunately, we had to put them in a position that most freshmen aren't in, and freshmen weren't in this program for a long, long time. And they've come up with some big plays. We've had some great wins and some great days of production on both sides of the ball, and we've had other days that they just didn't come through. So it is what it is. And it's not an excuse. It's just where we're at. We got to win. That's the bottom line. You can't say, hey, we've got young guys playing, so we're not going to win. No, we should have won last week, and we should have beat Cal Poly. We should have played better at NAU, and we didn't. And this week we've got to be ready. And this is the week that everything clicks. And like Caleb's saying, we have the ability to play with anybody. This is the week that we put it all together and have another great week in our stadium. And so we're proud of our young players, and we love coaching them, and they're going to be great players, and they just have to be more consistent.
Jackson, what makes this a good rivalry in your opinion?
Growing up, all ages, it's bragging rights for the whole year. You go back home and you see some of the guys who play for the other team, and you get to rub it in their face, I guess. It's important to all the people in Montana, so it's a big deal.
Caleb, 5 years ago when you were going through your recruiting process, was there ever any question which of the 2 programs you were going to play for?
No. I think I talked to him once, and it was just to test the waters, but I had my mind made up that I was going to come here the whole time.
Jackson, how about you? You've got a lot of Castle guys going over to Bozeman these days. What about you?
I wasn't recruited by either school, but when I transferred, I knew I had to go to the best FCS school in the nation. It was obviously just Montana, but there are a lot of Glacier guys on that.
Jackson, what's it like playing in this kind of game? Is it different? Like, if it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just entire year. It's been special, but this game, it means more than any other game. So.
What about your memories from this game? Talk about his own season. What about you?
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually, and I remember at Edgerton Elementary School, we'd always pick on the kids who would wear the cat shirts. This week, it always, like, the school and just friends kind of became divided this week, and then you just got to rub it in their face the rest of the year. So, and that happened a lot growing up in the 2000s, being a Montana fan.
Caleb, how weird is it going to be for you to see Coach Ty on the other sideline this week?
It won't be that weird. I still have a good relationship with him. He made that decision to go over there, but he made that decision for himself. And it'll be good seeing him after the game.
Coach, at what point did you know or get a sense of how big the rivalry was?
Probably when you go around on the GSA tour throughout the state of Montana and visit all the cities, and you get a sense of how important it is to people all over the state. And then also just when you walk downtown and see what people are wearing on a daily basis. They're wearing Griz gear, and I grew up in Nebraska. That's what people wore in Nebraska, was Husker stuff, and here it's very, very important. It's on their mind, every day. It's not just a football season thing, it's an everyday thing, and that's why it's so important. It is life here, and you just want to win so badly for these people, and I grew up in that type of thing. And when I was a kid, and I think I brought this up last year, was Nebraska, Oklahoma. That was our rivalry. But when you did not do well against Oklahoma, you didn't work with Oklahoma people. You know, you didn't see them every day. You know, you hear people work together. They see people every day, and there's Griz and Cat that have to run into each other every single day, and that's what makes it so hard if you're not on the good end of this game. You know, so it's really, really important, and that's what makes it fun.
Coach, Bobcats defense was not great last year. They seemed like they made some serious strides this year. What have you seen on film from what they bring on that side of the ball?
You know, they're unique. They're a 3-down team, you know, and they can bring it from a lot of different places. They've got them playing. You know, they got them playing a lot better. And they fly around. They got a couple good linebackers. They got a good rush linebacker, a buck linebacker. I like their safeties. They fly around. Their corners can cover. You know, so they can bring it at you and get a lot of people in the box. It's a little bit similar to Cal Poly type deal where they could drop 8 if they chose to do that. But it's a totally different scheme than what they were doing, and you know, it's something that we've seen, and it's something that we know how to attack, and it's gonna be a good matchup.
Do you recognize a lot of that from last year here in the summer camp?
It's not anywhere